Today we're going to talk about hooks. First in line is the Aberdeen hook. This was the first hook to be mass produced. Got a straight shank. The tip of the hook is about 1/3 of the length of the shaft, and the eye is in line. I didn't realize I didn't have any standard quote-unquote Aberdeens with me. This has a slight bend behind the point, which helps keep bait from sliding off. Next in line was the Shaughnessy hook, which is again fairly standard hook, straight shank, the eyes in line with the shank, 1/3 of the length of the shank to the point. This has a slightly more parabolic, more graduated parabolic bend. What that does is that gives a little bit more torque to the hook when you set the hook. Obviously, the Aberdeen's about a 90-degree, makes a complete 180, but a 90-degree bend pretty much. After that is bait holder hook. Bait holders can be found on most style hooks. The Aberdeen, the Shaughnessy, different specialty hooks as well. The innovation there was that barbs were cut into the shank of the hook. This has an offset eye. And what happens there is when you snell a hook, which I'll put the link to the video where I show you how to do that, that puts the line directly in line with the shank. So it'll get maximum power through that shank when you set the hook. Next in the bait hooks would be a beaked or octopus hook, they call them. This point is about half the length of the shank. This is for shallow mouth fishes. Also has the offset eye, and the big innovation here is a twist in the shank, and like the Shaughnessy and the bait holders, that will torque that point into the corner of the mouth and provide a more secure hook set. After that, one of the big innovations was the worm hook. This is in red. The idea there is to simulate blood. Fish might instinct strike it, thinking it's injured. Has a 90-degree bend, very wide gap, and the hook, or the tip, is directly in line with the eye. Obviously that gives you a straight line when you set the hook. It's a 90-degree bend here. When you go to hook up a plastic bait, soft plastic bait, what you do is you go in the distance from that eye to the beginning of that bend. Go directly in the middle of it. Come out the distance. Again, the distance there. Push it through. Slide that down. Turn the hook around. And that gives the hook, it's directly in line with the bait. Now this soft bait has a pocket on the bottom. And what that allows you to do is, if you push a little bit on the lure here, push that hook, don't come out there, push the hook through the back of the lure. And that pocket will allow this lure to become weedless. You can see I'm dragging across my skin here, and that hook isn't sticking. But when a fish goes to bite it, that exposes that hook immediately. Very easy. There's no resistance there. So it remains weedless, but also gives you the exposed tip for, a very good hookup. After that, we have what is called a trailer or a stinger hook. If you're using large spinnerbait like this, or a buzz bait, or jig. If you get short strikes, which is, basically they're just trying to get it out of their domain. They're not trying to eat it. They're just tapping it. What you can do is these are called, again, stinger or trailer hooks. They have a short straight shank and a very large eye. When these first came out, we had to buy like aquarium tubing to slide over the eye. And what that does is you can put that hook through the eye of this larger one. Again, it's red to simulate blood, and then that plastic helps keep it from wobbling around. It keeps it straight, and that increases the length of the lure. So hopefully that'll increase your chances of hooking up. When it comes to sizing, 0 is in the middle of the scale, and they go up and down from there. 0 is the aught, what they call the aught. Now this would be roughly a 20-aught hook, very large. And this would be a 20, roughly. They obviously come much larger than that for shark fishing and such, and they come a lot smaller than that even. Fly fishers will make representations of midges, which you would probably know as a gnat. So imagine the size of the hook that would be needed for that. So there you have it. It's a quick rundown of hooks.